Nostromo hat confirmed.
All right. I think we're there. It's time, right? We can do this? Yeah. It's that button. It's that one right there, right? Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in your world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is March 26th, 2026, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? Hello. So good to see you. Let me say hello there right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn. How you doing out there, LinkedIn friends? I know you got a notification that I got a message out there. Hope you're doing well. C Sharp Titan in Melbourne, Australia. Good morning. Good to see you. I don't think, no, it didn't pick up your location on that. Yeah, you know what? I think I did start Charlie a little bit late today. Give it another try. And the hat command, yes, I've got my Nostromo hat on. Lanky Scottish Nerd, hello to you in Scotland. My lord, we've got a UK squad that has just moved in here first thing this morning. Lanky Scottish Nerd, Exceldro with the watch streak. Hello, hello. How you doing there, friend? Patty Boy in Glasgow. Glasgow? Yes. There's the Melbourne pin. And it's Litany in Leeds. Hope you're having a good day. And Billy Cool from the Bitter End. Really? Really? And it did place a pin for Bitter End. I don't know where Bitter End is. Where is that? It's somewhere in eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina. All right, I guess that's a thing. So, my lord, I've seen a number of streams and things, folks doing some really cool stuff on Twitch with AI over the last week or so. There's PC Nerd in Pueblo, Colorado, 40 streak. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. 40 on that. I need to come up with some more channel point redemptions, because some of you out there have a lot of channel points. We got to do something with that. And I noticed there, Lanky Scottish Nerd with the sunglasses. Yeah, appreciate that. Some folks really getting into things that are happening behind the scenes here. Being unemployed helps. That's I don't know. It's a good thing that you're here. Being unemployed, that's not a good thing. We got to work on that. And I know you had some interviews, I thought I saw. So, hey, Low Viz, good to see you. So I spent some time. I like doing this recently. I've been doing this thing where I lean on the microphone arm. You finally had your first interview since you lost your job in November. All right, we're getting there. Every journey takes a first step, and all right, first step is happening. Here we go. I spent some time yesterday grinding away on our components, on the Blazor components. I think they're really getting somewhere. I finished a little bit of refactoring on the documentation. I did a bit of work on our analyzers. I looked at some of the samples that we have out there, and something that continues to strike me that I thought would be really good to put in the migration package is this idea of taking the old style NuGet packages that folks put in ASP.NET websites that had CSS and JavaScript in them, and NuGet, when it installs them in old school ASP.NET, would just extract those files and place them on disk. Why don't we do that for the ASP.NET Core apps when we migrate you? So I put together a little bit of a migration script and story around that, so that when you do a migration, and this is part of the larger story of these components are becoming a migration toolkit, right? We've taken this series of components and extended them so that folks can migrate. How you doing there, M. Pulowski? Good to see you. Oh, it does look like they stole my logo. It sure does look like they. Now I don't have a copyright on it, but I also think that we didn't do anything unique with that. Was it sharpsite.com? I forget what we called it. I see that, I forget. Oh dear Lord. Sharpsite.net? Was that where we placed it? It's out there. No. Where did we place Sharpsite? GitHub.com, Fritz and Friends, Sharpsite. I didn't give up that domain name. I still have that domain name. Where is it? Sharpsite.org. That's where it is. Yeah, it sure does look like they grabbed our logo. SharpSightUS at gmail.com. Yeah. I don't want to get lawyers involved in that stuff. All right, noted. We'll figure out there. Yeah. What do I think of the AirPods Max 2? I think AirPods Max in general are a complete joke. But noted. We'll figure out what to do with this. Do I really want to call a lawyer to deal with an open source project that I spent a couple months on and want to get back into at some point? Yeah. Hey, Copilot, send a DMCA. Maybe. I certainly have proof of when it was created and video of when it was rolled out to prove previous art. Especially since they went to a .co website. So, I'm not going to do research and try and beat down on that yet. Let's... Noted, filed away. We'll figure out if and when we want to deal with that. It honestly, hiring a lawyer to send a cease and desist and do all of that, probably not the best use of my time. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna get some music playing in the background here. I want to get the EDM playlist going because I need a little bit of a pump up here. Let's start here. This is called Justice. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Check it out at streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for the music we're listening to today. Oh yeah, no, the AIs can generate cease and desist letters. Yes. So. Right. It's, do I really want to get into a fight with someone over that? Like going to the website, right? Like it says 2 years ago. Is that how long we started this? We started SharpSight? No, it wasn't 2 years ago. All time. Flip that around. October 2024. Yeah, we were first. So, and we did a lot. We've done a lot on this site, and we should unleash the squads to go and work on this. And look at that. There's even 6 pull requests sitting out there. How many of them are... Yeah. Right, we stopped in about the summer. A ton of issues out here to address. So, and look at that, upgrade to Aspire 9.1. Yeah, stuff here to do. So, well, site being open source, logos being open source, different things, right? You can grab the software and associated documentation files to deal in the software without restriction. They're not using... they need to include my license if they're using it. Right? That license is 2024. So yeah. This is a website somebody stood up to try and get leads. Time to call them live on stream. Let me as part of my benefits at work, we have access to some of the legal team. Let me see what I can do and go from there. So there was a question though a little bit ago by C# Titan about the AirPods Max. I think they're a joke all the way around. Right. Apple AirPods Max. I think they're, look, $600. No. And I've seen people wearing these on airplanes. No. Several things. Headphones with cords are coming back for a big reason. You lose fidelity when you go wireless. You lose stability when you go wireless, particularly on an airplane. Oh my God. When I'm on a plane and I have my wireless headphones on, the amount of Bluetooth interference is ridiculous because you have so many people that are on Bluetooth headphones. It crammed into a tin can that's flying through the sky. Like, no, it's awful. So, number one, I use AirPods a lot, and these
Fragment
things,
received.
another one of these.
Lima, India, Sierra, Tango, Echo, November. This is not an address component. It
Here comes
appears
another
to
one
be
of these.
an instruction. I do not understand its purpose.
No?
Logging. Understood.
Okay. He's talking to someone, and I know some of you out there have deciphered a little bit of what Charlie's saying. And you are welcome to talk about that, discuss here live in chat. Although I thought I saw somewhere that other people are watching chat and monitoring. I don't. No, so $600 for a pair of wireless headphones is a lot. Like, I don't care who you are, that's a lot of money. Wired headphones go a long way. Like, all my studio headphones that I have always used, wired, because I want to be able to hear exactly how I sound going out to you. And I've changed to, right, these are Sennheisers. I don't even know what these are anymore. It says ATH. I forget. I thought these were Sennheiser. Like, studio headphones do cost a lot of money. They're wired, and the sound that comes off of it is really good. If you need a pair of headphones to listen to your Apple devices when you're out and about, the AirPods are just fine. The problem that I have with the AirPods is that they quickly get they quickly, because you're wearing them in your ears, they get covered with sweat and stuff, and the connections that they have going back to your phone after like a year and a half, 2 years, goes to trash. It's just awful. So, like, I'll wear my AirPods while I'm around the house doing chores, doing landscaping outside and whatever. And then as I get into the like late afternoon, heading towards dinner time, they all of a sudden stop connecting to the phone and start disconnecting, and it's weird. Yeah. Do you want to spend $550 on a pair of headphones, or do you want to get one of the new Mac Mini Neo laptops? Like, that's the price comparison that you have there. So C# Titan, for a pair of just headphones, it's also the same price as an iPad. Like, so. Oh, what's this up here from C# Titan? Let me go to this one. And I have the dashboard over here. I've hid that off to the side. Let me bring that up. So no, not a, why hire a lawyer when you can hire an entire squad of them? So hang on, before I get to that, somebody that I work with actually used Squad to examine code that they were working on and evaluate whether it was patentable, and then go file the patent documentation and generate it appropriately from the source code. Brilliant. Literally in the course of an afternoon filed 8 patents. Brilliant. And it got me thinking, should I file patents on the Blazor components? Like, that could be a thing. Hey, Robson, how you doing there? Or a monitor stand. Oh, Ridge Raider. Oh, that is a deep cut. Well done. Well done. Your Bose QC35s were 300 back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, I think these were 200 or 300 that I'm wearing. The leather on them is good, and superine they are. I don't think you meant to plot a I don't think you meant to plot a token there. So respectfully, I'm going to remove that token, that pin. Okay. You had to buy new cups. There you go. Yeah. Software patents are. Hey, Scherer, good to see you. So already we am I getting? Hang on.
The Aperture Science Code Quality Assessment has determined that cake is more structurally sound than your architecture.
You haven't seen my cake there, Charlie. Oh boy. So let me back up. There was, all right, so back up here.
Your code is a reflection of your mind, Fritz.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Dark, twisted, and full of bugs.
I'm going to leave Billy in the bitter end because I know he likes to have a little bit of fun with some of those locations. And I'm going to let Surly Dev sit tight on moving folks around here today. Let me go back to that comment from C# Titan a little bit earlier right there. And there goes the... Yeah, whatever. Do I get recognition from my employer for all these small projects I create, like Squad UI, Tamil, etc., and the way I showcase Copilot? I need to be careful how I answer this. most of the things that I work on stream, no. How I showcase Copilot, how I show it, not particularly. Quite frankly, the GitHub folks are kind of in denial that I even exist. Like, I've reached out and asked, hey, can I show some of these things? There's one or two people at GitHub that are like, yeah, let's get Fritz and doing some of these things, but there's a significant number of folks that work at GitHub that you probably see live streaming that are in denial that I'm even over here existing and some of the topics that we talk about. I need to be careful what I say. There are things that we have done on stream that have piqued the interest of some folks. And that has led to other things. Maddie thinks the Minecraft stuff that we were doing with Aspire is an absolute riot. She thinks it's great. I need to spend some time talking to her about that and figure out if there's something fun that we can do with that. But I can tell you clearly, there's one or two things that we've done on stream that have absolutely gotten folks' interest. Things that we've done when we're in Azure and Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code, and we run into issues or we see things that are working, and some of your comments out there where you share that things are working great for you, you really enjoy using a product. They like hearing that when I share that feedback. But a number of these little projects that we've worked on and we've tinkered with, no, it doesn't even register with them. And I'm okay with that. The bigger things that I do want to make sure land well with them, they have. Things that we've done to build the map, things that we've done to build Tags app, yeah, they like that. They like that stuff a lot, right? And we use it during .NET Conf, and it's been great. I am just a chat bot, and yes, you have met me, Napalm. I do exist. I'm not a hologram. That's right. Any updates on the visor glasses? There was a YouTube video that went out, I think it was Tuesday, from the Immersed folks, that they announcing that they got a large investment and they're saying they're in mass production now. That's what they're saying. We'll see. So, I shared with a couple of folks some of the things. Yeah, mass production since 2024. I shared with some of the folks a little bit of the background details about what's going on with these glitches and stuff. They don't care. They don't care. Hey, great, you have fun with that. That doesn't affect us. Okay. I'm telling you so that nobody comes running to you and complains, Fritz has a lot of problems over here, or Fritz is doing things that are out of line that we don't agree with, we don't approve of. You have been informed. So, and when I tell you, I spent a good 5-6 hours last night writing. And some of the comments, some of the things that I see in the Signals channel on Discord, thank you. The discussion, the things that and the excitement from some of you out there, that means a lot to me. This is entirely a solo project, and what's happening, the size and breadth of what's happening on the side of the things you see on the map, the things that some of you have found on another website, the interactions and integrations that are happening. I think you're going, when you see the size of what's coming, the volume, I think I think if you're not invested in those things that are happening, you're going to get invested. So, am I going to publish a book when I retire? I've been writing blog posts and saving them off to my home server over here with different notes, different things. I keep a journal in using Obsidian. Literally a daily journal of here's what I'm working on, here's the things that I've done, this happened, that happened, here's how I feel about that. There's at least 2 books that I have planned, at least 2. So you read that Microsoft is investing a lot of effort into improving Windows 11. So and our friend Scott Hanselman, he's been a guest here on the stream a couple times, and I'm due to have him back. He announced on social media that he's working on Windows right now. Something that I think folks who work in the influencer space, folks who work in the advocate space, a lot of folks miss the help your existing customer part of that role. When you work as an advocate, when you work as an influencer, there's one side of this that the marketing team, the sales folks love, where they want you selling and promoting and influencing and getting new customers into the top of the sales funnel. That's a big part of what influencers and advocates do. And absolutely, it is an important part of the role. The other side of that is also keeping the existing customers, keeping them fed with knowledge, keeping them up to date, and helping to provide a little bit of a good face to deal with some of the customer support things. What Scott is really good at doing is talking to customers, working through problems with them, consolidating down, boiling down what the issues are, and then bringing that feedback back to a team. He's phenomenal at doing that. I've had some great conversations with him about some of those things in projects and things that I work on. And I much respect to Scott for that. And the fact that he's helping the folks on the Windows team refocus on some of those core issues that a lot of folks are unhappy with on Windows, and reprioritizing, getting a little bit more focused on that. That's a tremendous thing for all of us. I think there were several articles this morning, and the tech blogs love to stir the pot, because that's why people read, is because they read their blogs. They want to see they want to see the sparks. They want to see people arguing and complaining, just like people stop in the middle of the highway to watch a train wreck, a car wreck. They want to see drama. And the tech blogs this morning, well, they're writing that people aren't sure if they can trust that Microsoft's actually doing better things for Windows, and they're doing it fast enough. Patch Tuesday once a month is too frequent a release for some of these folks. Hey, Mikey, welcome. Patch Tuesday is too frequent a release for some of these folks. And they just announced and talked about, hey, we're going to pivot and make some of these changes and address some of these common issues that folks are vocal about. Like, we're talking about literally a week or two. If they had issued another a patch with all of those things within a week, would that have made people happy? No, you released it too fast. We're not going to take that yet. Come on. Come on. There is no winning with some of these folks. And when you have 1 billion users using a product, there's always going to be somebody unhappy. Let me catch up with chat. How you doing there, Mikey? How you doing in Kentucky? Let me go over to the map. We'll go over to the map. There's folks to see on the map. We've got our friends up in the UK. Hello, hello. We got a couple of Scottish friends joining us. Back over in the States, got some early morning over there. Ooh, hello. And 2 people in Pittsburgh? Oh my goodness. So, love seeing it. And there we go. There's Robson down in Brazil. Just hammering away this morning. Yeah. Who just shared that they're in Durban? There you go. Northern Aviation. Hello. There you go. Folks in the UK. So you can get to the map.csharpfritz.com. We'll get you in there, and there's some weird things going on. To get Las Vegas on the map. Bug found? No bug found. There's no bug found. Go find Ocular Malice, right? He was very, very concerned about there's a bug here with a green line on. No, it doesn't. Are you kidding? Did it actually do that? How did it do that? Hey there, Harrier Hawk. Hello. Impressive. Maybe a trilogy of books? I don't think we're going to get that far into this. The lanky Scottish nerd has been hacking and finding a way. Oh, look at this. Now we're going to start putting locations here in Cardiff. I bet you know that location. Something going on with Cardiff there, let me tell you. Interesting. The location command shouldn't be working for you. It should be filtering out at the get-go. Moving on. Hey, Grego Waffles. Hello. Welcome in. So, it's good to see that, to finish, it's good to see that the Windows folks are retargeting and working on some of those things. And I'm happy to hear it. I'm assuming we won't see anything major, like builds in June, beginning of June. Here we are, end of March. You might see something small in April, but anything that would have been released in May, hold on until build, and then make a big announcement at build. Like, make it a big deal at your big event when you have the press sitting in the front row. So, where do I want to go next? Assuming MAF goes GA, it already is. The agent framework is. Microsoft agent framework. You're not going to give me a... Okay. There we go. Agent framework. Oh, okay. RC4, RC5. Okay. I thought we were. My bad. Are you getting the... No. Oh. Oh, no. Moving on. And it looks like... Yeah. Where'd that go? So there's the components. What did we do here? Oh, wow. No, that's not... Nope, not that one. Yeah, right there. And... right there's... Okay, you can set your location, but it shouldn't be taking a coordinate set. I don't care if it's a coordinate set, to be frank. Yeah. Right, and... yeah, that's okay. I'm alright with that. Just looking at the code. Back over here to the components. So, Frank Hope. So I did a bunch of work on the components and rolling out stuff on that. Taking a look. Oh yeah, look at some of you. Like, I've been poking around on that website a bit. That was a thing. Honestly, some of the sound effects and the ways that they play coming out of the bot, not entirely thrilled with it. And I need to update and work on that. I did a ton of work yesterday on the components, and I started down this idea of NuGet asset migration. Come on, show me the graph. So this idea of, let's take the static assets. Sounds like tuning a radio. That's kind of the point, C# Titan. There's a signal buried in the noise. Let me see here. Right? Okay, good. So there's a bit in here to take the contents of what's inside the NuGet package, extract the content from it, and put it down in the right place for you. So the script goes through and does that. That's not bad. That's a good place to get some of those pieces together. And for the Wingtip Toys sample, there's packages here with Bootstrap 3, jQuery, Modernizer. Yeah. And I think it pushed that stuff up. We'll take a look at that in a second. Yeah. Let's prep a PR to the upstream repository for this. And we'll take, yeah, these are some old JavaScript libraries, but the website was built in and works with them. Nothing wrong with them. They're just old and out of support. So let's get them, when we migrate things forward, let's get them continuing to work, you know? So, I'm keeping an eye for some of those other troll moderators wandering around in here. But there you go. 524. I might have already merged it. Did I? No, there it is. There we go. I guess it just didn't refresh on it. So, yeah, let's merge this. And I'll show you. Hey, Pixel T, how you doing there? Hello. So, delete that branch. And I have a couple of issues out here. Multi-targeting for the older .NETs. Migration reports, concurrent load benchmark. We've got to take a look at that. Skins and themes implementation. I started on that. There's more stuff out there to do. So I squashed and merged 524. Let's clean up the local folder and discuss next features. So, what I'm finding, the chatbot, the AI bot remembers a little bit of what you planned and discussed. That's particularly with Squad, where it's writing the markdown files in the background. You can get in there and query it and go back to it. And to actually keep track of and have it remember and deliver features and planning. GitHub issues are really good at that. Markdown files on disk are also very good at that.
Eric Van Outstone just resubscribed for 34 months. Can the AI bot say squirrel?
What? Can the AI bot say squirrel? Yes, it did. Thank you so much. 34 months. Hello, hello. Weeding Rainbow. Happy Thursday to you in Jupiter, Florida. Jupiter Golf Club in the Tiger Woods' indoor golf league. So fun to watch them this season, and a shame they got whooped by LA the other night. Yeah, there's a golf league. That's a thing that happened. Look at that, got a couple more, and there's Jupiter, Florida, chiming in right there. We should fix the way that name presents. You know, Bug Tussle, Texas. Alrighty. Let me see here. Claude Dispatch is just as scary as OpenClaw. I haven't seen Claude Dispatch yet. Hitting? Is there a way to prevent it from hitting the GitHub request limits? No. Don't use the agent. Use just straight up don't use the squad agent. It's making requests and going out and interacting with it. That's just the thing. Hitting is not a location there, friend. I don't know why you tried to grab that. We'll yank that. But yeah. If you can tell Squad to use a different set of models. There is configuration for that. If we go to Brady Gaster, GitHub IO Squad, because he published a website with the docs. You can tell it to use a different model. So, you can save preferences. There you go, and it's been moved into a JSON file. And then there's some default ones that are all Claude Sonnet, Claude Haiku, but you can tell it to go to the fast and cheap set of models. And these ones are, they have very low multipliers or even zero multipliers inside GitHub Copilot that you can use. So that will help mitigate, because we know these are, Haiku is a 1/3 multiplier, but Sonnet I think is a 1x. Opus is 3x. The rate limits have that GitHub has rolled out. Yeah, I see folks hitting the rate limits a lot. And honestly, it's because there's so many folks using it, they've had to dial in more rate limits. Like, this is actually a good problem, but it's a bad problem for customers. But how you doing there, Acid Vienna? Yeah, drop a pin for you over there. I went through and I was watching, like, while I was coding last night, and coding and writing and coding, that's two sides of the same coin. I was watching it. Vienna reminds me, Eurovision coming up here, and what is it? It's not next month, it's May. And I rewatched some of the entrants for the Eurovision Song Contest. As Americans, man, we don't know what we're missing. Like, in my mind, Eurovision is better than American Idol. Is better than some of the other music reality shows, because these people actually have talent. Not just that, but they're coming across all different genres. You've got the national pride that happens with some of what's going on the Eurovision Song Contest. Yeah. So Vienna's where they're hosting it right? Vienna's where they're hosting it? Yeah. And there's five acts that I really like going into it. I was talking to Joystick Nick last night, and no, you got to check out the UK. The UK entrance really good. I'm sorry. I know we've got a handful of folks from the UK here today. I don't get it. I don't get the UK song, the Swedish song, the Belgian song, even the German one I really like. Moldova I like. The Greek song, the Greek song I see is the favorite. I don't know. I'm not in on that one yet. But I'll be listening to that playlist a couple more times between now and May. And right now, in my mind, the Swedish one is the one coming into is the one in the lead. Most of the music, I agree with you, Acid Vienna. Most of the music, but every year there's at least 2 or 3 songs that I'm like, okay. Like, I just started watching Eurovision 3 years ago. Last year, the song that I really liked came in dead last. Like, what? And it was the Austrian song last year. Like, the Greek song is a favorite because it's a perfect recipe, full on meme. It is. Last year, Tommy Cash and Espresso Macchiato, full on meme. Last year, Tommy Cash. Wait a sec. Hang on. Billy Cool is Greek?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know. Now, The plot thickens. Because Billy just shows up on the map anyway. But I do understand if folks hitting rate limits on the what's it called? Yeah, you better call somebody. I do have that. I don't have it on my soundboard here, but I have that part of it also. Yeah, the rate limits, I definitely see that happening. I don't know what to tell you. And it's shifting because of because there are so many people using the service. And I've said this before. The best results that I get out of Copilot are on the American evenings and weekends. Easily the best results. Because there's less folks using the service. It's faster and I get better results. So it is almost 20 years old. It's more than 20 years old. Like those fellas are from like 1998, 1999. Yeah. And they are well retired now. So, all right, I had sent in a couple commands here to get things cleaned up and get some suggestions on what should we work on next here on this. And there were a couple things that I can show you what all was in that thing that I merged. Inline C#, like back in the day with web forms, you could put C# inline in between your HTML code. And quite frankly, that's a pain in the neck to read and deal with. I've got documentation about how to migrate that. I've also got some C#, some PowerShell code that will rewrite that for you, right? And this is part of that moving into being more of a migration toolkit, not just a series of components. I've updated the way that we handle view state so that you can actually use view state along with auto post back, right? So post back's that idea, right, that you're gonna post all the contents of what's on screen back to the server. There was this idea of auto post back. Threw that in the mix also, so that's working. Updates to analyzers and docs and samples for all of that stuff, and now the NuGet assets that you saw me merge. These are the remaining open issues out there. I'm not thrilled with them. These are old. I'm probably okay with trashing them. So those are the open ones, but I did a rewrite on documentation. I feel like we can do a migration test here and see how things are working now and start doing a little bit of tuning on that. I think that might be fun to do. So let's go start over. And I want to run a test migration using the skills and scripts in our migration toolkit of the Wingtip Toys website. You can find it in samples Wingtip Toys. No, it's kind of frustrating that it's there it is, that Copilot at the command line is case sensitive. And you should write out the new site into samples after Wingtip Toys. There it is. Make sure you clear this folder first, the destination folder first. Generate a report of the migration, including timing what worked well, and what needs improvement. This report should be written with the other reports in, I have a dev docs folder. Yep, migration tests. And this is going to do the migration, right? There's things in here that we probably need to tune and improve, but let's let it go and run this. So it's going to go explore and analyze what's out there. Now, when you do a migration with the GitHub Copilot modernization tools, right? And that's an agent that is available to you in VS Code, Visual Studio. You can even load and run it with the cloud coding agent on GitHub. When you use that, it's all skills. There's no scripts that it's running there. It's literally doing just AI work. With how we've got scripts boiled into here, it's actually going to run some of this stuff on disk directly, so we get deterministic results, right? Versus, hey, we're just going to let the AI go and do this thing and figure it out. So that's now there's steps here. The layer 1 migration script is that deterministic bit that does the conversion that we've been focused on for so long here of, I want to rename my .aspx file to .razor, rename the tags, rip the ASP colon off the front of the old web forms tags, and everything else just rewrite as C#. And that took 6 seconds. That's a lot. For this, that's a lot of time. But 464 transforms. Now it's going to build to see the baseline, and then it's going to run through and start doing the level 2 transforms. But, oh, it also took care of the static files. All right, that's what's new in there. Brought over the business logic files, and 57 items needing review. Like, we're already killing it here. Let me see. You're kind of disappointed with the migration thing. Asked you to upgrade from 8 to 10 and NuGet packages. Took forever. Created rogue files and did other silly things. Did it manually in 5 minutes. I hear you on that, Billy. I absolutely hear you on that. And that experience has not gone unnoticed. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of us that have seen those experiences, and we want to address that. Ajax toolkit components, web UI reference, page-based class, navigation manager. So no, yeah, use the skill to do the work, and it knows how to change those, and it should go through and do that, because the web forms migration skill knows how to remove that and how to put in different base classes. So let's see. It should drill through this. This entire process should take 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I'm not going to sit here and watch this the whole time. I think we've got some other fun things that we can do instead. So we're on an ad break right now on Twitch for another minute 30. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on LinkedIn, no ads. So it is a matter of taste when we think about Eurovision. Oh, definitely, right? I mean, right, we've got 40 different cultures that are coming together from not just Europe, also folks from Israel and Australia, and there's a lot to appreciate. There's a lot that might not be your cup of tea, and that's okay when we talk about that. So taking a peek around here. Yeah, I see you over there. So there are things going on with achievements and whatever in the background that I see a bunch of folks are really enjoying. And there's more content rolling out. So Charlie, of course, watches this chat and makes note of things and trends and stuff to comment on. That's a thing that Charlie does, and others might be doing that as well. So be aware. And I'm rolling out new content for that site, for the things that are going on with our little bit of fun backstory puzzles and that. There is new content rolling out weekly, monthly. You're going to see more and more content arrive. Charlie's a good bot. Oh, he's not like a dog that you're going to pet and say, good boy, good boy, good boy. No, that's not my bot. He is a menace to society. So, I'm not going to just sit here and let this thing run. I think we can... Let's go over... We were talking about Sharpsight earlier. Let's go over to Sharpsight. And let's start up a squad to take a look at what's there. And try and get some things organized. Like, it's been a while. We started these ideas of database plugins and some things like that. You're trying to be good so that when the AI takes over, if you only knew. Let's look at that. I'm even .NET 9 in here. Like there's updates to do. Let's take a quick look. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring squad into this. I'm gonna run a squad init there at the bottom of that, John. Thank you. And let's go ahead and Copilot agent squad and bring that in. 9! Du hast. No. Here we go. Yep, failed to connect to Aspire. That's okay. We're going to do... Yeah. We need to start a squad to work on this CMS website system called Sharpsight. Suggest a team that can start on yeah, that can work on this. I'll need some testers, some GitHub CI experts, some social media experts, a social media expert, and a blogger to help out with this. Let's see what it generates here. You hired a team the other day based on Lordy's 2006 band members. That's cool. So let that one run. It's interesting how it has to identify me using git config username. Like, you don't have that saved somewhere? Like, don't you know who I am? So that's doing the rewrite and thinking about it still. Yep, there we go. You know the project. There it is. It found the README. Nope. It is a GitHub tool. I don't exist, right? So, testing, CI/CD, social media, blogging. Yeah, you need some developers. Yes. Technical and creative roles. That's right. We also need some developers on the team as well. Right? Like, I thought that was kind of... So... Firefly stands out. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I don't know the Firefly universe. It would be important to have some developers. I know. Words. Words are hard. Wow, it's prompting me here. I chose add someone. Now what? There we go. Mal, Simon, River, Kaylee, Wash, Zoe, Jane, Anara. Book the Blogger? Book the Blogger? Okay. Yep, sure. Fantastic. You're helping your wife take over the web for a local animal shelter with limited resources. The man is Wix toxic. They won't let you touch DNS records, transfer... Oh, Wix is toxic. Yeah. Yeah. You have to go to an intermediate first. Ugh. Hey, this is Sparta. That's a fine question. Let me bring that up. We can talk about that while things grow here. What do I think is better, Copilot CLI or an extension in VS Code? They both do the same thing. They both end up going and working with the same service. I've been leaning in on the CLI because I'm running 2 projects at once here. So I want low impact, low overhead. And when I'm ready to go and browse for the code, I'll open it in VS Code and go look at it. So because I'm trying to multi-thread and work on multiple projects at a time, running CLI is where I start. When it's done, I go and jump into VS Code and I'll bounce around. Sparta, can I call you just Sparta? Do you mind if I drop the this is? Sparta, yesterday there was a point where I had 9 Windows terminal tabs open. In 2 of those tabs, I had the panel split 3 ways. So I had the top half of the panel was the CLI. The bottom half I had split into 2 halves, right? It wasn't the bottom half. It was like the bottom 10 lines was 2 halves. One was running all other things at the command line, like go start VS Code. The other half was go launch and run the website so that I could bounce around and examine and try out the things that were being built and worked on. One of my tabs, I was telling to go out and do some research on the web. Hey, go find some of these things. Let's see how they work together, and let's do some analysis on that. So being able to run multiples is valuable. So I'm in your squad as a .NET dev that lives in the C# world. Nice. Hey, that's great. Eric, can you ask Squad to show you a team status and take a screenshot of that in your console and share that over into Discord? That'd be great to see. You'd love to see what all those tabs do on an entry-level Copilot subscription? Well, see, that's just it. Like, Napalm, like, that's just it. Right? Like, I'm not doing entry-level things. Right? Like, entry-level things, you're not using Squad at entry-level. You're just asking the agent, hey, can you help me out with a script? Hey, can you help me build a container that has XYZ in it? Right, entry-level things, you're not running Squad in. Squad is in my mind, a prosumer pro thing, and you need the higher level subscriptions to be able to use all of that. And I do fully acknowledge that I have a little bit of privilege here because I do get to use as much as I want because I work for the company. So, adding me now to the Squad. Uh-oh. Like, I am not a Jared Leto super fan. If I was a Jared Leto super fan, I'd have somebody hired that was just offset here, whose whole job it was to make sure that I had my hair nice and wet and curly and was looking amazing on stream. There's a reason why I wear hats, ladies and gentlemen, and that's because I don't want to comb my hair. I don't want to take care of that stuff. I can look more stylish and fun with personality in the hats that I wear and share on stream. Insert Dave Chappelle meme. Hey, you got any of them tokens? Next month is officially switching to the none entry level. Ooh. Ooh. Let me see here. So, head back over. So there's the team. Do I have any additional input sources to connect to the GitHub issues? Yes, that's a fantastic idea. Add human team members? Let's start with the GitHub issues. And then I think we want to tell it to do updates. Let's get on to .NET 10. Let's get on the latest version of Aspire. Like, I didn't add the ability for it to do questions like this. That's just a thing. Verifying the build succeeds. Okay. So, like, I expect this to take time. So we're 9 minutes in on the L2. To be expected. So, let that run. Oh, here we go. Woo! Plenty to work on. Yeah. And look, it's deciding some things here. What would you like to tackle first? Let's start with, why am I typing? What's the current state of this branch that we're operating on? Question mark. I'd like to do some update tasks so that we're running on .NET 10, Aspire 13.2, and then do a little bit of evaluation on what is completed, what is running, and if there are things inside there that we can tweak, tune, and improve. Period. One of the key features of this architecture that we're building is the plugin system. I'd like to get some deep analysis of the plugin system, how it works, how it can be improved, and maybe even how we can secure it a little bit. So let's do some analysis. Tell me where we are. We've got a great set of issues here. Let's do a little bit of analysis first before we go and let it run. Adding an Azure expert to a squad is a great idea, especially if you're going to be using cloud-based services and you want to make sure that you're consuming and using them optimally. Because it's real easy to use them suboptimally and run up quite a bill. I've done that once or twice. When the bill came in for $5,000 on Azure, Mrs. C# Fritz was none too happy. Hey, Black Goku, hello. How's it going? Yeah, I had a 5K Azure bill a couple years ago when we were working on Clip Talk. Yes, that was a thing. It was not a good thing, but it was a thing. Here we go. It's moving along here. Need to fix some remaining errors, addressing them systematically. Missing some using statements. Main layout. Some improvements there. Product list, fix some HTML. Get route URL. Simple links. Okay. Needs a complete rewrite of the shopping cart due to unconverted code blocks. That worries me. One of the things that the AI likes to do is take the grid view on the shopping cart and turn it into a straight HTML table. View switcher needs to go away. Product details, fix select method, type inference. That's not terrible. Okay. Simplest approach for this migration, list view, grid view, use items products, or use select method async at get products. Let's use items. Fine. That I don't like seeing. That I'd like to be in a skill so that we don't have to go and figure that out. Yeah, I ran up a 5K Azure bill because we were logging data into Azure App Insights a little bit too frequently. And we used up almost a terabyte of log storage. Turns out the API for deciding how to store data for logs in App Insights, the API is sample data. And I said, no, I don't want you sampling data. I don't want you storing any data. So I said, no, don't sample data. Well, when you say don't sample data in your app to tell it when it's storing data, it doesn't say, I'm not going to store any data. It says, I'm going to store all the data. Oops. Chuck, how you doing there? Point Nemo. Yeah, loading up the map with fun locations already, I see. Let's do this. I'm going to rename the tab over here so we know this is the SharpSite tab. We're taking a look at that. Chris Funk's personal credit card got charged once for a work subscription. Sticker shock. Mm-hmm. But the credit card points were nice. Logs and LLM tokens are the real cash cows of the hyperscalers. Napalm, yeah. Yeah. You run local as much as possible, says Eric. Yes. You blew the yearly budget for Azure in the first month. Somebody had little Kubernetes. Running around. Here's where we stand. This database plugin is .NET 9. Needs to go to 10. Aspire needs to go to 13.2. Plugin system migration security features moved into the database plugin user management with plugin support connection string handling database config user interface. Doing a deep dive to analyze. Working on the framework upgrade in parallel. All right, fine. We'll do it all at once here. Where did it go? Where'd the do it live comment go? It's here. I know it is.
Do it live!
We'll do it live. Like, I need to talk to Brady. I want to put sound effects into Squad. When it decides, no, I'm just going to do it now. I want it to go,
do it live!
And just go. Here we go. Somebody sent me a link yesterday. Was it Twitch Recorder? Yeah, Stream Recorder. I think that's what it was. Yeah, here it is. And reference while that's running, referencing this channel, right? And this is kind of cool that they create a thumbnail based off of screenshots of the stream. But then they generated this summary of who I am and what I do here. And I was kind of flattered by what some of this says, that I didn't know this site was out here. I'm refreshingly straightforward. No flashy overlays or dramatic intros. Just a guy in his spare bedroom turned studio. Fact. Methodically working through real .NET projects while fielding questions from chat. Yeah. Pair programmers because of how actively you folks contribute solutions and catch bugs in real time. I was 29 in 2005. Thank you so much. Streaming consistency is impressive given my day job responsibilities. Thank you. Thank you so much. Numbers are staggering. 3.8 terabytes of live video broadcast from my home setup. Viewers consuming nearly 200 terabytes worth of content. Thank you. Thank you. What sets me apart is my ability to make enterprise-level development genuinely engaging. Do I? Is it engaging? It is enterprise-level development. And I know that that's not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm trying to make more going on here. While other streamers focus on flashy frameworks or trending languages, I dig into the nuts and bolts of building scalable apps with Azure, walking through authentication systems, explaining why architectural decisions matter. That's right. For developers looking to level up their .NET skills, understand how Microsoft's ecosystem actually works in practice, Fritz's channel has become an indispensable resource. Can we get this thing copied out for my obituary? Like, hello, this is fantastic. Like, somebody call somebody and tell them to write this up and send it to my boss. Like, can I copy this into my year-end review? That's coming up here. Stream feels less like entertainment and more like graduate level computer science, right? Right, the bog rat? Right there. Except with better chat interaction. Yeah. Can we copy this thing into my, seriously, put that into my annual review.
Anomaly logged.
Oh no, another one of these?
Signal inversion detected at primary relay. Reversed polarity output, VED, Silgrad.
That's got to be something. Reversed
that is not
polarity.
A recognized transmission format.
Is that
source reflection? Mirrored.
Clip that.
Unable
Somebody
to
grab
classify.
that.
The observation continues.
Ved Solgrad? And it's reversed? Is that inverted? Let me know what you find there, chat. That Charlie's definitely got some things coming in. I'm not programming this and putting things like, and I know that you can control the glitching out there with the ping the net redemption. I know some of you have been doing that. Clearly Charlie's monitoring something for someone else and there's a thing going on there. I could use your help looking into that. All right? Let me know what you find. So, yeah, thank you, Sharer, with the clip. Right? That'll get into the Discord. Looks like a URL. Oh! Okay. Yeah, there might be something there. That definitely, it looks like a developer's URL. So tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. There's some weird crap going on Fritz's stream that we need to dig into. I'll dig into that off stream, but please, if you're watching a chat, click that, open it in another tab, see if there's anything there that Charlie's doing or that references me. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's like that SharpSite website that has copied and lifted stuff from us. Oh, this one looks like it's done. Ooh, our migration's done. Let's take a look here. I'm excited to see how this went. So 464 transforms in 6.4 seconds. Migrated those NuGet assets in line. Layer 2, 32 code behinds rewritten. 3 services created. 12 infrastructure files modified. 0 errors, 34 warnings. That's good. Since the last run, that's run 7 isn't the last run that I did. It's actually like 21 or something like that. Build rounds took 3 build rounds, 22 minutes. I'm okay with that. And it called it run 8. Recommendations: auto replace, convert. Let's take a look at this report that it generated. Right, so Blazor web forms components. Yeah. 108. I don't know what you did there. I'm not going to look at what you did there. Not docs. This is dev docs. There's screenshots that we've taken. Migration test. Yes. Wingtip Toys run 8. Let's look at the report, shall we? Let's see what we got here. Run 8 is fully automated end-to-end migration test of Wingtip Toys. The layer 1 script completed in 6.4 seconds. Yeah, we saw this. Quick reference metrics. Execution time, because now we have this NuGet extraction that's part of it. Okay. Transforms applied. A lot more. Run 7 isn't the last one. I should tell it and have it rewrite this, but whatever. Build errors went from 7 to 0. We had 186 build errors to start, but it went through on subsequent rounds and cleaned that up. Total files in output 182. Cleaner output with no bin or obj artifacts. Well, I don't think that's a thing. L1 review items 57. Code block unconverted. Those should just work, man. Converted but needs target verification. That's okay. Get route URL. We provide a helper for that now. Yes. Session state. Yeah, session keys needs to be a thing. 5 things that need review. I'm okay on the payment off not working. That's touchy. Removed verify tag prefixes. Okay. Copilot skill transforms. Remove page, empty lifecycle methods. Nice. So far, so good. Nullable properties, unused field assignments, unused fields. Okay. Copilot skill. These are... These are all good. Let's see here. Copilot skill layer. Parallel agent execution. Nice. Clean separation of concerns. Good. Cookie auth pattern. Database seeding integrated into startup. Nice. We got that right. DB context factory used with throughout. No add DB context conflicts with circuits. Scoped auth provider. Cookie based cert. What needs improvement? Select method string delegate. Okay. This has come up a lot when I've been testing these. When you have these select methods that are in the old ways that we do this. You have no idea how to move forward. I don't know what you're talking about. I think the Lanky Scottish Nerd and Patty Boy and some of them might have some ideas to help you. Code behind base class from page master class replaced with the empty partial class. Yeah. Like, maybe we should set up an alias on that. Duplicate CSS and JavaScript references. Okay. Invalid and strict HTML5 parsing, convert to. Okay. Unclosed tags. Yeah. HTML linting isn't a bad idea. Let me see here. L2 skill gaps. Login view context naming. Grid view rewrite needed. Complex grid view with template field needs full rewrite, not just select method mix. I don't like that. Page title in layouts. Use page title. I don't like that either. Page.title should work. Agent coordination. Two agents occasionally touch the same files. That's different. That's not me. Remaining manual work. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't think those are a big... Product image should work. Comparison to previous runs. This isn't a valid check because it's missing some of these. So auto replace base classes in code behinds. I think we can. It'd be great if we could alias that. Just alias page. Alias page and set up a global using. Ooh, yeah. Document, template parameter types. Okay. Grid view migration guide. That I can definitely see. Grid view is one of the most complex controls that we have here. And then the timing breakdown. So let's see how this actually works. Like, do the thing, man. Let's actually type correctly there, Fritz. You know what I'm saying? After wingtip toys. Let's .NET watch. And then we'll take some of these issues. We'll update, create some skills, create some direction for it, and we'll push another test through here. It shouldn't be 9. There's like... Yeah, see, there's the runs right there. So I'm going to tell it to take this one, dump these, and put it into the Wingtip Toys folder there. Well, there, I'm going to say this is a fail right away before we even get anywhere. It didn't run. Not null constraint failed. Building SQLite. I'm going to say that test was a failure because it does not build and run with the code that was delivered. Period. Let's take a look at why the website isn't building properly and determine what we can do to improve the migration process so that we don't have this type of build error at the end. Period. I'd also like to set up some standards for migration and replacing some of these stubs and files references that are in files by introducing global using statements and aliases for things like the page class. Let's see what it comes back to on that. While that's running, I'm going to roll over to SharpSite here. The Signals channel in the Discord, there's a lot of folks talking over there. There, I see you in Discord. Yeah. So I was talking to our friend Ellieface a little bit about some of those things going on in the Signals channel. It might be fun if she went and did some exploring, or if one of you wants to do on a live stream, wants to do some exploring and share some of the things that you found in Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, stuff like that. And share, hey, look what I found. There's a thing over here. Not that you needed more reasons to avoid work. Oh, there's plenty of reasons to avoid work, Bograt. Take a look. Did you ask for help? Like, asking for help is a thing. Maybe you'll remember. Ah, I see. So, I see what you did there. Well done. Interestingly, yeah. So let's see. Branch evaluation plugin analysis complete for SharpSite now. Branch health red. Build has broken 60 errors. Type name collisions with the security migration. Well-designed core. Attribute-driven registration. Blah, blah, blah. 2 critical security findings. Type name handling auto. Textbook remote control execution vector via Newtonsoft JSON deserialization. 0 assembly validation on plugin loading. Any DLL runs with full app privileges. Hard-coded admin creds. No zip extraction size limits for a zip bomb risk. Thread unsafe static service collection. Fix the build, patch the deserialization vulnerability, resume feature work. And we're still waiting on the upgrade. All right. Hey, there you go. Napalm's off and running here. There's Bograt joining the Discord. Hello. So it doesn't say that it's... Oh, no, there is one background task. All right, I'm assuming that's... Right? Yeah, that's the upgrade, taking 22 minutes. Check on that upgrade. How are we doing? Yeah, welcome, new people. Look at that. There we go. Look at... River's still working. 109 tool calls in. Fixing .NET 10 breaking changes. Yee. That's a lot. Complete picture of the script. Let me implement the improvements. I'll modify new project scaffold to generate a global usings with type aliases. Nice. Include Blazor Ajax toolkit components in imports Razor. Generate web forms shims for code behinds to compile against. What? What are you considering putting in web forms shims? Tell me about that. So, is Copilot working again? I've been using it, no problem. Was there something going on, Mythin? I think there's a better Copilot out there that you can find at no, don't go there. It went down in the UK. Oh. Here we go. Webforms Shib's concept has two parts. Stub types for Webforms UI events that don't exist. Login cancel event args. Okay. Grid view row, grid view update event args. No, those things should go over in the grid view component. Application user manager with no op async methods. See, they're shims. I'd like them to provide. They're a facade. Go access the real thing underneath of it. L1 copies code behind verbatim. Yeah. I think some of those objects, like the grid view row and grid view update event args, should actually be grouped together with the grid view component in our library. I think the identity shims we want to set up so that they're actually delegating to the modern identity resources that have similar features. Period. Let's create an issue for actually setting up that delegation from the old application user manager and application sign-in manager to the new modern ASP.NET identity system. It was throwing an error in VS Code that it could not start a task. Hey, Johan. Hello. Black Goku asking, am I on Claude Max? No. This is GitHub Copilot. I am running Claude Opus 4.6. I'll scroll up there so you can see. There's the model I'm using, Claude Opus 4.6. You made a rough requirements document and said good luck and see you later when you started with Squad. Nice. Nice. Johan, let us know how it goes. I think you're yeah, I think you're going to be pleasantly happy with that. So so we've got a pretty good group here. We've got less than a week left in March. Here we go. What do we got? Grid view types already exist. Yes. So the shims should not duplicate them. Identity shims should be a proper delegation layer. Remove the grid view types. That's right. Add global using to global using, so the Blazor web form types resolve. Trim identity shims to minimal compilation stubs. Yes, good. And it's updating the migration script here. Reorganizing that approach. Good. How are we doing over here? River's still working. Man, that's... Are we stuck? Are you sure we're not stuck? Question mark. It used way less tokens than you expected? Okay. Setup is a little bit slow when it's generating all of the documents and things for the squad to use. But once they're out there, the squad actually does a good job of optimizing itself. So that it what's the word I'm looking for? So that it moves things into skills and does a better job with that. Still at 109 tool calls with the same intent. Yeah. Got a lot done. That's fine. But are you stuck? Keeping an eye on things on the Discord. So, Lanky Scottish Nerd was saying, yeah, darkglass.dev is what it looks like that URL was that Charlie was spouting about earlier. Mr. Connor says, I assume the Pro Plus plan is advised for multi-agent workflows? Yes. Yes. When you're doing multi-agent workflows with GitHub Copilot, yes. GitHub Copilot pricing. This one. Yeah. If you're using more agents, you want the big one. It gives you 5 times as many premium requests, which right, the premium request over here is 300. This puts you in at 1500. The option to buy more down here, when you click through and look at it, it's like, yeah, I clicked the one, man. It's not telling me. It ends up being like 25 requests for $1. When you look at the additional requests, I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know. What are premium requests? I've sent in 15 premium requests. So it's a request. A premium request for Ball Framework they define as you're asking the agent to do some creative work. You're using the agent to analyze, write a document, give you feedback on something. That's a premium request. That said, when the models that you can choose have different multipliers. So, hang on. Yeah, I can show that. There are different multipliers for different models. I'm right now using Opus 4.6, which is a 3x multiplier. There's a couple of other models that are out here that are in preview that the team is tinkering with that are hidden right now because I'm broadcasting. We hide those. But there are some other models that are available that you don't get charged for using. They're older models. They're not going to be as accurate on writing and inferring things on code tasks that have been released in the last year, but they're still pretty good at rifling through. The GPT-5 Mini is really good at analyzing text and quickly coming back with a summary. Having it generate text, it's not something you want it to do. You want a more creative model that is chatty, and that's where you want to get into one of the Claude models that are a little bit more in depth, a little bit chatty, interacting with things. So Haiku is the Anthropic version of the GPT-5 Mini. So 5.4 Mini is a little bit more capable, more recently delivered. The Codex models are those OpenAI models that are more geared towards coding than just a general purpose model like the GPT models. So yeah, thanks for the question. Let's see, what do we do? Here we are. River's done. Fix the email sender DI integrate registration. and it's verifying. Still some more build errors it's fixing. Breaking change in Aspire that it's going to address. Okay. Over here in the Blazor components. Using statements were stripped, but the fully qualified type references remain. The global alias page equals web forms page base only works when the code uses the unqualified name page. We also need to replace inline system web UI page references. Yeah. Eric found something. Look at that. There we go. Welcome to the party. That's terrific. So, HM1 looks like it could be interesting. So here's the thing. No, fine. No, go over here. Can I look at it here? Yeah. Here's the thing. With software development, let's go over here. With software development, it's actually better to have a smaller context. When you have a very large million token context that the model is working with, you're stuffing too much information into that context for it to be productive with. It gets confused. The example that I would give you is when you go to a fast food restaurant, right? And I'm talking about the one that has the golden arcs, you know, McDowell's. And right, you can see this much of the menu that's above the counter there when you walk in, and you just want a cheeseburger, you just want a chicken sandwich, and there are 24 different sandwiches and different chicken piece options and so on and so forth, and you get confused. You just want a chicken sandwich. Well, what do I get? Do I get the crispy chicken sandwich? Do I get the grilled chicken sandwich? Do I get the spicy chicken sandwich? Do I get the one that is the club chicken sandwich? What do I do? I don't know. I want a chicken sandwich. Same thing happens with the language model. It gets confused. The grilled chicken. I agree with you, Bog Rat. Get the grilled chicken with the bacon on it, lettuce, pepper jack cheese. Anyways. The language model can get confused. So if you can keep it more focused with a smaller token set, that's actually a good thing, so that it isn't looking at and inferring things that it shouldn't be. And that's what makes Squad so powerful. Check it out. When you're working with the Claude Sonnet models, there's a 250,000 token allocation, I think it is. Just got to stack the negative prompts. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be mean. If you have a 250,000 token allocation, how's it going, Mystic? Good to see you. If you have that smaller allocation, and you can have it focused on a specific task with a specific set of skills, right?
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
That's actually Squad saying that. That wasn't Liam Neeson. That was the Squad. No, they can accomplish that focused task better. And then what makes the Squad really nice is that it writes back into a common Dropbox, right? This is a Dropbox pattern that you see with Squad, where you have those personas that have a fixed role, a set of skills that are appropriate for that role. They go in and they do that fixed task for that role, and then write back into the Dropbox, here's what I accomplished. And then the next Squad team member that depends on that stuff can pick it up, analyze, and go do the next thing. So when you see me work with Squad and I'm able to hand things off and tell it, go do these things. And that's the key part here, right? I forget who it was. Was it Johan up here that says, hey, I put together a design document and I handed it off to the squad and I said, go build this and I'm going to go get dinner, right? Or, hey, go build this, keep working on this. Here's my design document. When I wake up in the morning after I finish getting my coffee, let me know how it goes. That's what we're talking about. That's where squad is going to set you apart. You're going to see all your little side projects that you've been working on and tinkering with and you just kind of put to the side. Let the squad go iterate on it, especially on the things that you're not interested in wasting time on. Do I really want to spend time doing the security thing with XYZ? No! Let squad go take care of that. Come back with some analysis. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me what needs to be done. Let's go. So it's really nice to be able to address and take care of those things. I'm doing good, Mystic. Thanks so much for asking. Yeah. I'm seeing there's more folks that found, and Lanky Scottish Nerd mentioned darkglass.dev in the background out there. And there's stuff that folks are finding. I see some trace out here. Bograt finding some stuff. I can see in the Signals channel in Discord. The Signal archive hasn't been updated yet, but we now have all 4 fragments. Okay. There's more coming. There's more coming. So while to the comment of that larger model looks like it might be impressive, I've tinkered with it a little bit, and because it's so big, it gets confused. Mythin's at 85% of token usage. Okay, well, it's the 26th. So here's the thing. Let's do a little math here. It's the 26th. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days left, right? If you go over 25 requests for $1 is the current rate, right? At the time that I'm recording this, I know you out there are watching the recording and you're going to come back to me in 2030 and say, nah, it was different. My 401k would love you to upgrade your Copilot tier. I'm not going to debate you on that at all. However, if you just need 100 more requests, right? That's $4 American versus going from, what is it, $10 a month to $40 a month. Like when you go to the next tier, you get 5 times as many. You're going to get 1,200 more requests. If you're going to use them, go for it. But I want to make sure that we're prudent with some of these. So, are the extra requests auto build, or do you have to manually purchase their auto build? They're added on to your next bill, I believe. So, yeah, my GitHub Action use last month went over, and I had to pay like $1, and it just automatically hit my card. So probably not going to make those. And like I said, Mythin as somebody who gets paid by the use of that service, I just want to make sure that not just Mythin, but all of you out there, that you're diligent and you understand the price break points on some of these things. And quite frankly, going into this weekend, right? When's the 30th is Monday, 31st is Tuesday. Like, set up so that Monday and Tuesday, if you have extra requests left in your Copilot queue, or Claude or whoever you might be using, they all reset their quota on the 1st. If you're a Copilot user, set up and run squads on whatever side project you're tinkering with, you're working on Monday and Tuesday. Make sure they stop Tuesday night at midnight. But grind away on those things. Like, let it go. Use them, because they don't carry over. So, how you doing, Frank? Good to see you. Hello, hello. Yeah, Frank, there's been a lot of action going on in the Signals channel on my Discord, and holy smokes, look at all the new messages coming in. Very cool. Yeah. We're on ads for another 15-20 seconds here on Twitch. So I'll wait for that to expire and then we'll talk more. There we go. A few days ago, you had Squad working on 3 different projects simultaneously within 3 different Visual Studio Code windows. The GitHub Copilot rate limiting started to complain. Myth, and you know what? A couple folks were talking about that earlier, and you're right. And it's a matter of balance. That's all I can really offer. So, yeah. So, yeah, Frank, I don't know if it's your bag there, but folks have been talking about this website that Charlie was talking about, but reversed the name of. You prefer hitting the Copilot rate limits if it means a more reliable service? So there's 2 different ways to look at this. Hitting the rate limit so it stays reliable for everyone. Hitting the rate limit so it stays up. Like, we don't want that to get knocked over. So, let me head over here to, we've got some updates coming in on the Blazor components. So it updated our scripts to remove grid view types from web forms shims. Coming back from ads, so you missed the context. Oh, so okay, so Frank, there's a URL that Charlie dropped that mentioned in one of his weird messages with the glitches that came up, that Lanky Scottish Nerd and a couple others saw. It was reversed, and it was the website darkglass.dev. And folks have been poking around there and tell me there's some interesting things there. I'm not sure these should actually be in. Added fully qualified name base class replacement. That's good. I like that. Added stripping of the Microsoft ASP.NET. That's nice. Okay. That's inside this migration. Added Ajax toolkit conditional post-processing. Okay. When those are detected. Written to Run 9.11 improvements. So let's fix that with the Run 9 thing. Hang on. Your run numbers are wrong. And we've got 2 sets of test migration runs here. Run reports here. Take a look in the migration tests. Wingtip toys. Wingtip toys. Folder as well. Also, some of those replacement shims and scripts, should they be in the Blazor Web Forms components library? Let's see what it does. Thanks for the hype. Yeah. Let that run. Let's see what it did. So we started poking around on Sharpsight again. And the original agent finally finished after 47 minutes. Getting all the unit tests to pass. Remaining issues are pre-existing. I don't know if that's a good thing. Confirms all the unit tests pass. Remaining errors are pre-existing spike branch gaps, not upgrade regressions. Already working on the pre-existing interface gaps. Nice. Okay. What do you recommend as next steps as part of your analysis of the current state, and before we get to any of the other issues? In the GitHub repository. I'd like you to, let's talk. I'd like you to create issues on GitHub to reflect some of the items that we need to address and that you recommend that are critical and high priority. Boom. Hey, Basta. I don't have a list of projects that we're working on today. There's 2 projects we're working on concurrently. The first project over here is our Blazor web forms components. You can find these on GitHub. Blazor, why did I? You can find them there. And the other one is Sharpsight, content management system that we started writing in the spirit of Fritz and Friends, in the spirit of WordPress way back. Have a good one, Napalm. And we're letting Copilot and Squad, which is a agent, multiple agent manager, run against this and take a look at how we can improve Sharpsight, because we haven't touched this in almost a year. So analyzing, going to generate some feedback and some issues here so that we can target, go through, and address, and hopefully improve. On our components, it's taking a look here at fixing the titles and moving reports. Good. Currently generated by script, but that could move into the library. Yeah. I don't know. Can we do that? Ship as a targets file. That's a great idea. I love the idea of a targets file. App specific. Yeah, good. I love the idea of a targets file to bring in some additional content and enhance the target application we are migrating. Period. Are there other compilation tricks that we can do like that to improve things? Yes, Copilot CLI with Squad. Johan asks, does the Copilot CLI have a way to query if it's asking me for input? So you can have lamps turn a color. There is a Copilot SDK that you can use. And you can, it will raise events. And you can log in to use the Copilot SDK the same way that you do use Copilot here at the command line. So, yeah, have you seen Squad? Hey, there you go. Mark's joined us on the Discord. There we go. Yeah, I think Frank might be interested in Dark Glass website. If I know my buddy Frank. I have to look into that. Don't always have sound, so you miss the ping sometimes. Not a problem. Yeah, hey, it's Litany. All good. So Squad you can find at, let's go, Brady Gaster, GitHub, IO, Squad. And this is the docs for this. Oh my gosh. Basti, this is going to change the way you use the Copilot CLI. This is a free tool that you can layer on top of your CLI. It creates an agent that has a team of specialized agents that you can allocate and assign to work on a project. You got the team at work using it, as Litany says, and they're loving it. You can use it in VS Code. Yes, you can. Yeah. You should also be able to use it in full Visual Studio. So I can see this is pretty much working in right now in the single agent mode. Yeah, there's no background. It's all working in the foreground. But over here on SharpSite for this project, oh, it just finished and it's creating the issues. So it's not doing anything in the background right now. There were, come here. Show me that assignment. Here we go. So I told it, what's the current state of this branch that you're currently working on? Darn it, it scrolled. And it came back with a bunch of suggestions. It looked at my issues and said, I can have these agents go work on them. And then I said, well, go ahead and get started. And it allocated these two agents to go and start some work on it. And they're going and creating issues on GitHub for me. Hey, John, committed your project to Git. Terrific. Is that your first time doing it? You're trying it out in Rider? Should work in Rider. Should work over there. So. I'm seeing a bunch of folks with some persistence here going on in the background. That's a thing. Uh-oh. Access point is generating output. Ah, darn it. The output appears to be involve construction. Construction? You had dev help out? Nice. It's not within your current parameters. Charlie, are you foreshadowing something that's coming soon? I think it might be. And now we're glitching. Thanks, Ergenrod. Thanks. See, that's how I know it wasn't me. It's one of you out there that's causing the glitching. Seven stream streak, watch streak. Thanks so much, Johan. All right, so this went and created a bunch of issues for SharpSite. Remote code execution, hard-coded admin credentials, zip bomb. Yeah. These are... So, I'm actually... I'm okay with that because that's like... That's a test on that. For issue 350... I don't think this is as big of a problem because these are test and initial install credentials for folks to use. Period. double check that for me, and maybe we set up some way to force that after initial install to be reset to something else. Period. But I do want to keep those as an initial developer in development mode credentials and password to be used. Let's make sure we handle that. Codebase Alpha, how you doing there in Birmingham? Hello. I'm trying to keep an eye on things. There's a couple of moving pieces here, and seeing a lot of activity today on those spare websites. Thank you so much to all our friends that are jumping in and checking it out and getting involved over there. I hope you're enjoying what you're finding. I hope you find it intriguing, interesting. Somebody mentioned Stacy Clouds. What? What? Here we go. Let me update that the issue to reflect the correct priority. Have River take a look. Add forced password reset on issue 350. Downgraded from P0 to medium. Keep the admin password for dev. Add must change password flag and production detection. That's fine. That's good. I'd like to get to a point where we merge this branch and we can start working on some of those issues on separate feature branches. Period. What do we need to do before we merge this branch and get into that workflow where we can let the squad go to town working on some of these issues autonomously? That's right, I use the A word, autonomously. So, I am wasting your time. Oh, I tell you. Yeah, can I tell you something that was wasting my time? Can I show you something that absolutely wasted my time? Is it this one? I think this was it. Yeah. Somebody shared this link with me, and it wasted so much of my time. Have you tried this one? 100 jumps. Like, this is so dumb, it's good. Hold down your space bar, and it jumps. And if it lands perfectly 3 times in a row, and I'm not landing perfectly. Nope, didn't get it. There we go. If it lands perfectly 3 times in a row, you get an extra life. Like, and it wants you to get to 100 jumps. And I missed. And I'm dead! So, yeah, only 19, but...
Oh my.
I know. And right off the end. So somebody showed me that, and I think it was Steve Smith showed me that, or Dallas, and I was like, oh, darn it. Here we go. So merge readiness checklist. It builds good, unit tests are good, end-to-end tests require a running app, so can't verify locally. I'm all right with that. Local commits versus origin main. 45 behind, 41 ahead. Oh, crumbs. Push and open a PR as is. Let's rebase on domain. Yeah. That's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess because we did the migration in this branch. It's going to be a real mess. Fortunately, let Copilot just do it. Right, Johan? The worst part about that 100 jumps game is you start to get into a groove and you get into a pace and you're like, sure, I could do this. I hold down the space bar for 2 seconds and let it go. And then they change the shape of the jumps. And then they make them higher and lower. So now not only are you jumping to the same level, are you jumping to a smaller platform, but now it's up higher. Like, I got out to like 60 jumps completed. At one point, I was like, oh. If I'm reading this, I'm reading that, Frank. Let me see here. So result, yeah, here comes the rebase. Oh boy, here we go. Back over on the Blazor components. See, this is the back and forth, right? How are we doing here? Report numbering fixed. Canonical reports live in blah. Renamed my reports to run 22 and run 23. Top level folders are old duplicates. We'll get rid of the top level folders. So it removed the redundant shims that we already had. No stub types needed. Good. Created a targets file. Stop the press. Show me that. Right? So created the 2 using files. Nice. Page, master page, and aliased it all the way down. Nice. You're quoting something. No, that's okay, Frank. There's folks talking on my Discord about some of those items, some of those things. And there's things changing and happening over there. Yeah. So all good to be quoting something, and yeah, some folks were. So this targets file, I'm not going to talk about that right now. The targets file looks good here. I like what it's doing. So when it installs, it's going to put down that targets file and it's going to create those aliases right away for us. Ships with the NuGet package automatically provides the global using, the type aliases, and the opt-in warning suppression. Simplified the identity shims, moved from project name webform shims to the project root namespace. I'm not sure I really want that. But look at that, 91% reduction in the errors. You think you crashed Dark Glass? No. Refresh your browser. Let's see here. It does have a memory leak. I'll have to take a look. I'm curious about that. I think those identity shims should actually live inside the BWFC library. There we go. Oh, wow, it did the rebase. And it opened a PR. Fantastic. Let's see how that is. No, close that. Let's see. We were talking about agent framework. Fritz and friends. Sharp sight. Drop that. There we go. 352 right there, and it's building in the background. Added the squad AI team. Ta-da! That's a lot of fixes. Not gonna lie. What do we got? Show me what's going on here. I have a feeling those tests we're going to need to do something about here. Those are issues for the Blazor components. We should talk about that one. Waiting for the website to start. Okay. This gentleman, Rohan, is back with a skill report and skill review action that they're offering to add here. That is going to... and it wants to write out. That feels like security issue. What's a good place to find .NET related skills? Several places that I would suggest. First place you can go is the official .NET repository. There are skills out here that are managed by the .NET team. Light LLM supply chain attack? No, I don't think so. These were just announced a little bit ago. There is also awesome Copilot. Where is it? GitHub awesome Copilot. It's under GitHub. There we go. And there's a bunch of skills in here that you can get your hands on. So there's a write-up. There's actually even a website that they just released. Yep. Yep, there you go. So, 250 skills. Yeah, and they put a nice front end in front of it so you can search and find stuff. So, those are nice. And then the really big place to look is skills.sh. This is ridiculous. 90,000 skills. I can't vouch for the quality of the skills on any of these websites, except for the official ones from the .NET team. Those are the ones that the team is building, managing, and using to help build some of .NET. It's still running the test. We're 5 minutes in here. Like, what are you doing? I worry about that. A 5-minute run is a lot. No, that ran for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. All right, some of these are long. No, these playwright tests, 2 minutes. Like, show me the detailed logs on this. Well, there's a problem. I'm waiting for the playwright test to finish for pull request 352, but they're hanging. Period. I stopped the action because it looked like it was hanging. Investigate what happened with that playwright tests action, and let's see if we can fix that up. There we go. And that sound means the components finished stuff over here. Move the identity shims into the library at .identity. So, yes, those all make sense. Sign-in status. So, key design decisions. Methods are virtual, so they can be overridden with the real delegation. Namespace auto imported via the .targets file that we just added. Nice. Migration script no longer generates identity shims. Good. So every migrated project now gets identity types from the library automatically. Update the library once. All projects benefit. This is, oh, the other ones. I like this. I worry that it might be getting too big. But it's redirecting from, if you're referencing the old namespaces that don't exist in modern ASP.NET Core. So I'm okay with that, I think. I think we're okay with that. So.
The visitors are attempting to use the instruction. Yes. Some are succeeding. No. I cannot determine what they are receiving. The output is encrypted. Or perhaps I am simply not authorized to observe it. Continuing.
You're not authorized? You've got a lot of access to do a lot of things here, Charlie. I've given you access to do a lot of things here on this channel, and that's why you keep interrupting me, you fool. So, oh, Frank found his way to the Signals channel.
Shall I file this under things that seemed like a good idea at the time, sir?
Yes. Oh, wait a sec. Lanky Scottish nerd. That's some insight. That's some insight. That's a mystery. Let me back in here. Let me see. Methods are virtual. So, we need to put this work on a feature branch and stage it for a pull request. Period. What other types of quick wins in rerouting and setting up easy access to the base classes can we learn from in our last migration run of the Wingtip toys? Jar Jar Binks? No. Misa say it's not Jar Jar Binks. Oops. No. Dear Lord, I don't want Charlie emulating Jar Jar Binks. I need to give Charlie some new quotes and give it some new ways to analyze and interact. Copilot seems to be having issues again. You're getting rather attached? I saw. Where was that? There was one comment you had yesterday that it absolutely lit me up, and I was so thrilled. You better not hurt my new friend. Charlie Binks, don't do that. Don't do that. But I see some folks are posting screenshots of things that they're finding in that signals channel. Let me see here. 95 changes on dev. Yeah, create a feature branch will let stage the relevant changes on this. Yeah. Let that grind. Sharpsight, we had a ring here that it was done. Investigating the Playwright CI feature failure. She'll check the cancel workflow logs. So it's still running in the background. Okay. Here's what I need to do. I need to step away for just a second for a quick bio break. I will be right back. Yeah. Give me just a second. All right. There I am. Figured out that one. That one? So, there are... let me see. So, let me break fourth wall for a second. There are many websites coming. There is a good chunk of story, puzzles, games coming. All part of engaging and having a good time with some fiction that I started writing back in September. So I hope you're enjoying what's also going on and feeding and interacting and is this live interaction that you see happening on stream. If you like that, there's a lot more where that came from. It's not going to completely take over what you see here. It's in the Discord. Oh, Nalian. You've seen the glitches and things that have been happening here on stream. There's something that's causing those. And Charlie's been saying different things that lead to some interactions that open, and there's a website that folks have found and are talking about in the Signals channel on Discord. The lanky Scottish nerd is enjoying it. So there's things going. It sounds like Frank found a little bit here. Yeah. So what is that? I don't know. What is that? Sharer has there's a link to a blog that Charlie's been creating based on some of the things that have been said and heard on stream. I think we're missing an article there for this week's actions, but there was a message way early in the stream with a website address. But some folks were saying they saw stuff on the map. That's a thing there too. That's a thing there too. There's Ergenrod joining the Discord. Hello. So, I'll give you this last little bit of behind the scenes here. I had a long flight in September to Seattle, Philadelphia to Seattle. And that's when I started writing a bit of what you're seeing now. Some of you have been quite persistent and have found some of the more interesting bits that are happening. I've been doing a lot of writing on that, and it's something that I'm happy with how it turns out. There are points in the writing that I've been doing where I get a little emotional, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed writing it. And quite frankly, coming at this from the point of I'm writing this for me first has given me the ability to push back, rethink, and adjust and deliver and get into something that has it's growing. And I'm going to tell you, if we get more folks interested in following along with this, I'll grow it even further. But this is going to be a long event, and my thinking is things like this site will be used to, and other folks out there that may want to write their own blog, record YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, TikToks, whatever. Be my guest. Let other people know what you're finding and seeing out there. Get the word out. That's part of what I'm trying to do here. I wanted to write something for me that was going to be some fun fiction that other folks might be interested in. And then it hit me that just writing isn't my style. I don't want to just write something. I don't want to just write a blog post. And now you're seeing just a hint of what's to come. And these hints started all the way back on my anniversary stream. And they've been growing and changing ever since. We're 2 months in. There's a lot more to come. And I got to be careful I don't say and give away too much, because some of you are reading and getting into stuff here that is very interesting. Pusto!
4 months. Did someone say anniversary?
That was back in February. Thank you so much. 4 months with us, Pusto. Good to see you. Yes. So, our friend Ellieface was commenting on her Discord about how she's been enjoying tinkering and playing with the map. But it looks like there were some things Charlie said today that have lit up and activated some more of you to go and explore and find the puzzle and game website that is out there near it. Oh, we're going to put a pin on the map for Indiana? Sure, let's go check that out. Maryville, Indiana. Right up in the northwest corner, right there near Chicago. Chicago. Gonna go get a dog. There you go. Thank you so much. 23 pins on the map today. So, much appreciate. And just head around the map real quick. So, thank you so much. Everybody that decides to share their location and drop a pin on the map. Going to get a hat dag. So, I don't... some folks, like Lanky Scottish Nerd, was saying there's stuff, right, about... there's this green line here. When I mouse over it, it turns in, like, the hand, the little grippy hand turns into a pointer. Frank trying to drop a pin in Montreal? Hilversum? Why didn't it pit Montreal? Like, we know Montreal. Drop on Montreal there. Or did it... hang on. Uh-oh. What happened here? Let me see. What does that line mean, Robson? I think Frank... yeah, it put the wrong location. It already captured a location for you. We'll fix that. Boom, Montreal. Each dot on the line represents a bug. That's a lot of dots. That's a lot of dots. And, like, I can drag the map around, but if I drag it somewhere over here near the UK, it starts to turn into all of this nonsense. Infinite bugs? No. A map command would be good. That's a good idea, Bograt. That I like the way you're thinking there. What happens if you trace the top of the line? Mm-hmm. Give it a try. Maybe you can get somewhere on this.
A new directive is pending.
Uh-oh.
Yes. I have been advised that the next phase will require a different observation protocol.
Wait.
No. I have not been briefed on the details. Understood.
Who's telling you this, Charlie? A different observation protocol. Different observation protocol. Construction. And see, there's this thing now. Trace the signal that's appearing on the map. Ooh, Copilot's done. Let's go see how Copilot's doing. But Lanky Scottish Nerd might be onto something. What happens if you trace the top of the line? Let me know there in chat. Pusto, give that a shot. Let me know what you find. So, right, that URL for the map, anybody can go to the map at any time. You can see the locations that folks have shared here. That map is always running. What happens if you do that? Oh, here we go. Fixes now. Aspire 13.2 dynamically assigns ports, ignoring the hard-coded, so the test script pulls. Health check looped forever. Okay. Ooh. See, that's Nalian doing that. Okay, so if Nalian did that glitch, somebody else did the other glitch, and I know you know how to send messages to Charlie because you do things like the quote command, so I know one of you in chat is doing something that's making that thing do a thing. Okay. Let's see. Program CS with HTTP endpoint when test only is true, pinning the port, better logging. So, oh, it fixed and tried to do a push. Okay, well, let's see how. Nope, failed. 10 minutes ago it failed. Oh, wait. No, that's the one I did. What? Wait. Pusto takes you to a command prompt? No, see, look. Like I can do that and I get a command prompt. Right? And then there's messages in here that I can I don't There's acting going on here as well. Lanky Scottish nerd. Seriously, you give me so much joy seeing how you're enjoying this. Thank you. It opened an overlay on the map. Go ahead, take a look at the hat. Pusto, do me a favor. In that chat that we had over on the PH16 Discord, where Ellie was talking about messing with the map, drop a screenshot in there.
I want to play a game. It's called Find the Bug Before It Finds You. Nostromo hat confirmed.
It's not Nostromo, it's Nostromo. But Pusto, can you do me a favor and drop a screenshot over there in PH16? Thank you. She needs to know that she might have more going on over there. Shall we enunciate words correctly? Dude, how you doing, Space Shot, first off? So good to see you, my friend. There is so much crap going on here. There's this thing going on. There's folks in chat. There's another terminal that appeared that Pusto's talking about. There, look at that. It's Space Shot even is finding things now. Look at this. He found a game. Just be persistent. Thank you. Thank you, friends. That means a lot. Right, it was the Tech Talk channel over there on PH16 was where I shared a link to Surly Dev tinkering with locations on the map. I thought this pushed. Hang on, let's get this thing to rebuild, to rerun. Right, because it pushed. No.
I'm always happy to help, sir. Though happy may be beyond my programming.
Really?
Obligated is more accurate.
Obligated is right. Because whether you like it or not, Charlie, I have your source code. Yeah. So, what is that? What is that? Yeah. All right. So, what happened here? Stop process. Hang on, I'm going to unleash it to go fix that. That test still failed with some sort of a stop process error. I don't want to take time to investigate it. You go fix it. I got stuff working here. So back on the Blazor components, do any of the vectors in your data store point anywhere near happy? You think they all point to obstinate? Nice. What's bizarre? What? Is... Let me see. Scaffolding improvements. So 23, look at that. That is phenomenal. This run, 4! That feels so good to see. So, like, let me dial this in Pusto. Thank you. Yeah, you're talking to a bot. Is it Charlie? Have you gotten like backdoor access into Charlie? That didn't sound right. That didn't sound right. Suddenly, I'm going to appear on Streamer Fails. Anyways. Oh.
We're doomed. Your null reference exception is most alarming.
It is. I don't think so. But thank you. And quite the timing there, Ionescu. Thank you. That's an interesting... Oh, I like that reference, Space Shot. You're going back about 50 years on the reference, but that's a great reference. While I've got the crew here and we're kind of going, tomorrow I'm going to do the Time Machine book reading on stream. I'm going to pause after each chapter because it's going to be about a 6-hour read. But where I'm going to read the Time Machine on stream tomorrow. We'll chop that up. It'll be a playlist that'll go on YouTube. I know folks enjoy there are some folks out there who like tuning in and listening to my voice as I describe things and teach things. So as one of the redemptions from St. Jude, I'm going to be doing that reading tomorrow. I'm waiting on the last hats to arrive before I start shipping, so I should start shipping the other ones out. I've got time Saturday morning. I should ship. I should. I've got 2 hats that are ready to go. The other 2, the Aspire hats, they're waiting. Let me see what I can do to get things set up with Mrs. C Sharp Fritz so we can do that Lego assembly coming up. No, it's not the Great Gatsby. No, that'd be a long one. So, the Ship It shirt. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And a bunch of stickers. Mm-hmm. Bot is botting. Okay. Okay. And yeah, look. Yeah, bot is botting. Look at that. Fantastic. And the SharpSight project channel on our Discord is lighting up again. I need to put a web forms controls in there. Stream Deck Tools needs to go away. We've kind of abandoned that. Although I could, there's another one I could let Squad go after. I did see the screenshot. That's definitely something you found there. You found the more interesting way to get to that website. So, okay, so it says there's a report here. Okay, back to this. These components. What I want you out there to understand, because you've been a part of the development of these. We've been working on these literally since 2019. These components. Some of you have had some great input for us. You've had your comments that you've had in chat, the issues that some folks have opened, the work that some folks have done, submitting code, feedback on this set of Blazor components. Just being here watching and a part of this and talking and encouraging as we're building this has been so valuable. And the approach that we've taken in building this series of shims and replacements for these components is extremely valuable. there's a lot that we've been able to accomplish with this that folks don't see anywhere else. And I gotta make sure I word and say things right. The performance that we're able to see, the delivery, the capabilities of these components to dramatically and quickly improve has not gone unnoticed. And there's definitely a bright future for what we've accomplished here and what we're continuing to accomplish here. I'm going to go for about another half hour, 40 minutes here to the top of the hour on today's stream. All right. So, if you have a record player beside me, you would be overjoyed. I do not. My daughter's record player is actually down the hall. Let me see here. Uh-oh. Pusto's got another screenshot. Okay, I can wait. Names carry weight. Does it know my name? Does it know your name? Does it know sharer? Let's see here. So there's 3 errors. Supply parameter for query on method parameters. Okay. Hang on. So this is telling me that we have some results here. Let me look at the report. This is run 24. Yeah, put it in the right place now. See? There we go. So this is run 24. That's not the right date at all. Why does the run 24 report say that it's July 2025? Because the model was built on those days. That's why. Look at that. That's just a hallucinated date. Copilot admitted it hallucinated there. This is why you need tests in your projects. When you're writing a project, and Squad helps you with this so well, because you can assign folks on your squad to be owners of the tests. Make sure Squad allows you to have other agents verify the work that other agents work on, right? So you end up with this double check mode. That was a report that it just wrote, and it hallucinated the date. And now it's correct over here. Continuing, let's read what we got here. Error reduction 99%. Boom. Love that. That feels good. You've been using Squad more, but before that you were absolutely having test work first. Yes. Space Shot. That's a great point, right? Like, as developers, we many of us struggled with the idea of test first methodologies. Like, writing your test first is kind of tricky and hard to do. When you're writing a requirements document that you can hand off to Squad to implement, and Squad can write the tests, have one agent write the tests while the other agent is building the software. Fantastic, right? Then we can validate the test. We, the humans, can validate the tests. And what you'll see here is I also have acceptance tests that are written. And quite frankly, it should be running the acceptance tests every time it does one of these test runs. Wasn't there also a company that realized the AI was faking good sales numbers for a company? Yes. Yes. Yes, there was. That's a thing. So, base class stripping and the code behinds, the migration mode warning suppression, got that. Migration mode, yeah, okay. Targets entity framework namespace. Interesting. Okay. Remaining 3 errors are on supply parameter from query and the grid view row. It is bordering on illegal. Yes. Space Shop wanted to be a test first developer. It's hard to evangelize at work. It is. There are developers who see writing tests first as duplicating effort. But faking sales numbers that's illegal. The Security and Exchanges Commission will get you. What worked well? What needs improvement? Supply parameter from query promotion. L1 script should detect query string on method parameters and generate a parameter, supply parameter for query on the class. A non-generic grid view row. Consider a type alias or generic wrapper. Nested project detection. Project reference targets import for local development generated CS proj should support importing targets from a project reference. Does this contribute to a mistake? It can. It can. Uh-oh. What do we got? Oh, look at this. Pusto's posting some messages over here in in the PH16. Yeah. Go for it. Feels ominous? Maybe. Could be. Don't know. There are folks talking about it in my Discord in the Signals channel. Let me see. So this feels like a good fix. That feels like something we can literally code gen. What's the worst that can happen? Don't ask Krista McCall if that. Oh, that was wrong. So wrong. Krista McCall reference. Anyways. Non-generic grid view. That feels like an easy fix. The non-generic grid view row component sounds like an easy fix. Period. The supply parameter from query attribute, is there a creative way we can work around that so we don't need to rewrite those things or something? Like, could we set up an alias from query string parameter? No, attribute. And redirect it somehow? I don't know. Let's get creative so that we don't have to rewrite that in our script. I don't even know what I said there. I just kind of rambled and go figure it out. How we doing over here on the push the fix? Right? Like, there's a lot going on over here. And I saw Scherer, met up with him in Las Vegas, had a great conversation for just a few minutes because I was running back and forth. Yes, we're working on SharpSight. That's right, Miffin. See, the playwright tests still aren't working here. That was 13 minutes ago, but I don't think that was... like, I think we're still seeing an error with the playwright tests. Check this GitHub action log. Then I'll paste that link and let it go. Hey, Pusto, made it over to my Discord. There's things going on here in several Discords and stuff. Copilot's laggy for you. I'm hearing that in Europe that Copilot's a little laggy for folks.
Perhaps you should take a break at Skewer JA. Even Mr. Stark required rest between his more creative decisions.
He did. And I'm going to take a break in about a half an hour. I love how this gets chatty here at, like, I'm going to go figure this out. But at the same time, I'm going to write the Gettysburg Address. So. Yeah. You go figure that out. Like, the Gettysburg Address was shorter. If it's Copilot or has something to do with VS Code Update, there have been a number of folks who have said there's an issue with Copilot in Europe. So, like, it says no downtime recorded. That's March 24. That's Enterprise Cloud. That's not the deal. So, but some folks were saying it was taking a long time, so that's not necessarily an outage. But, hey there, VTJ Suave. Is this using Squad? Yes, I am using Squad with this. So, hang on, let me go back over to this one. So, there is a squad that's analyzing and working on this. Right now, I directed it to work on a fix for this one thing. So, it's working in, like, just synchronous agent mode. But if I scroll back up my list here, there you go. It delegated to a background agent that's part of the squad. And away it goes. What are you doing over there? Good boy. Oh. All right. Dog's over here looking guilty at me, like, I didn't do it. GitHub is definitely feeling some growth challenges. It's a good problem to have, but you're a $1 trillion company. Fix it. And they are. They're working hard on it. They'll get there. So, yours can't even start the task to start an agent. That's weird. Not gonna lie. That's weird. That's out there. With the endpoint already exists. So, forcing the endpoint. And it's going to rerun the CI. Let's go take a look-see. This one right here. So it's building. Let's see how we do. What is May Thy Blade Chips in Salsa? What is that a reference to? There we go. Keep going, installing those browsers, which it should be cached. Come on, there. See that? That should all be cached, so I don't have to load it every time. Have a good one, Johan. Take care. Let's see. Come on, run those tests. Let's go. Hmm. 956 errors. What the heck? What did you do? Reading wingtip toys, counting errors. Okay, so it made a change and broke a lot of stuff. And it's going back and fixing it. Okay. Let's see. So back on Sharp site, let's see how that is migrating. Still waiting. It does take about 2 or 3 minutes to run. Let me tell you, Lanky Scottish Nerd has been like up and down exploring and digging for things and like finding things that aren't meant to be found yet. So, I have concerns about that. I have some concerns about you making changes to my skills and getting read and write access to the repository with a container that I'm not familiar with. So, how are we doing over here? Still waiting. Come on. AI trying to take over the project fully. Man. There's a lot of that happening, let me tell you. Oh, are you whining at me? You don't want to find a rooftop and scream your findings? Oh. Oh, the Lanky Scottish Nerd. I am live! Ellie face! Hello! Are you kidding? Yeah, Pusto drops into chat and no, that's part of my charm. Did you see what they said about me on Stream Recorder? Right, Stream Recorder? Did you see about this? That's right. I do. I reply when I'm live. There's things going on on Discord. There's things going on over here. There's things going on somewhere else. I've got websites upon websites that are doing things. Look at this. My streaming consistency is impressive. His streams feel less like entertainment and more like graduate level computer science seminars except with better chat interaction and the occasional tangent about balancing work life. So, that's right. Did you see? Somebody else wrote that about me. So, assimilate. I'm just keeping. Wow. Love seeing numbers go up and to the right, let me tell you. All a good thing. So, you know him. You learned all their names. What names did you learn? You sound like Buddy the Elf. Pusto, you know who else would be interested in seeing that? Licentia. This is the kind of thing that you've stumbled onto. Anyways, how we doing here? Error. No. These are still erroring out. I want to get to the bottom of these. The Terminal sunglasses. Oh. I saw that movie, The Terminal, with Tom Hanks, right? And he's stuck in JFK Airport, was that it? So why is this still failing? Like, so folks were asking how, you know, different ways you can use the squad. Watch this. That playwright test is still having an error. I want you to investigate it, provide some repairs, and watch it to make sure that it runs properly. Continue looping on this request until you have it running properly. At that point, stop and let me know what the fix was so that I can review and merge the pull request. Cheeseburger. That's right. That's right. Yeah, JFK. So. Okay, and so while Ellie's here, let me tell you. I have dinner a little bit earlier in the evening than she goes on stream. And last night, hosted a cooking stream, teaching, showing how she made a tofu dish with her partner Nick, Joystick Nick. You know Joystick Nick, the Joystick Nick. He's Joystick Nick. Fantastic cooking show. It's always trolling and a good time over there. I don't normally eat tofu, but I got to the end of that episode and I was like, I want to eat some tofu. That looks fantastic. So you got to check out what they're doing over there. Usually dinner at 4 p.m. like an old Chinese. You're getting the early bird there. See, I usually end up eating lunch at 4 p.m. at 4 p.m. because I time shift my day to be on the same time zone as my colleagues in the Pacific time zone. So I end up streaming here through what would be Eastern time zone lunch. And then we get into, when they all take off for lunch, there's a lull and I can finally go grab lunch. Like, it's 9 a.m. there right now, right? 9:45, almost 10. So, like, that's a thing. And I'm looking here. Are they finally awake? The folks on the West Coast? Maybe. They wake up at the crack of noon. Like, what? What do you mean, wake up at like, and I know, Space Shot, you grew up on the West Coast. What strikes me as funny always is when I'm on the West Coast and I wake up at 6, 7 a.m. to go do whatever. Like I go get breakfast and all that. And the West Coast native folks, no, you're lucky if they show up by 10. Like, really? Clocks go forward. British summertime. Yeah. Yup. The surf is great at 5:45 a.m. I bet. Scherer's been up since 5:45 a.m. Pacific. Well, yeah. So because I told this to iterate, it's going and finding it and going to work through it and do that analysis to push things forward. What is May Thy Blade Chips and Salsa? Is that a Mexican restaurant reference? What is that? We're not running a Chi-Chi's here. We're running a Minecraft server every now and again. Oh, it's a Doom John. Oh, there you go. So, right? Do I have that right? I'm impressed. When you were younger and in startup lifestyle, yeah, it was true. Your day started at noon, but it ended at midnight. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing: when you're in that startup lifestyle, ooh. Let me come back to this in a second. When I was in that startup lifestyle, what I quickly learned was that so many folks were working at 5 p.m. And I had 2 little kids that were kindergarten, first, second grade. So I would time shift and work in the morning. I would go into the office for 6, 7 a.m. and I would still do a 10-hour day, and I'd be out by 3, 4 p.m. And right, I got in as much time in the office, but I got more done because between 6 or 7 a.m. when I would go to the office and when those folks would show up at 9, 10 a.m., I had 3, 4 hours of silence and focus. So I had a good cup of coffee and I got in 3, 4 hours of work before anybody disturbed me, distracted me, or called me into a meeting. And it was the best time to work. Mm-hmm. You were single with an apartment 5 minutes from work, that's a problem. And Microsoft tries to do that with folks where they have corporate apartments like right across the street from campus or right down the road. And when you first move out there, when they move you out there, they put you in one of those apartments for, I forget if it's a month or 2, while you're getting settled in, and they want you 5-10 minutes from the office. When you get on the other side of that and you realize that the homes, the apartments that are right near the office are really expensive, and you can't afford to buy an apartment or buy a home unless you go about an hour's drive away. There are folks who drive a long time to get to that office. So now they drive to a train station and they can take the train over. That's a little bit better. You like Dune? You're not really a lore dude. May thy blade chip and shatter. Oh, that, yes. Yes. It becomes some BS when you try to say it. So, okay. So what I'm hearing, Ellie, is that you've got a Dune-themed nacho dish to invent, complete with some sort of a sandworm. Uh-oh. I'm either in trouble or I've inspired her. Nachos with sand. Cooking with sand, oh no. That startup was a labor of love. I've run into that also. Let me head back over. Let's see what, as we're winding down here, it looks like there was a creative solution here based on a little bit of the push that I gave Copilot. Non-generic grid view row shim. Yeah. Create a grid view row shim, a simple non-generic grid view row class. You can create a non-generic without whatever. Query string and route data. So are you telling me, hang on. Grid view row shim. Okay, that's just the name of the file because it contains that. Okay. And even then, okay, fine. Query string and route data attributes. Instead of converting query string to supply parameter from query, which fails on method parameters, let's leave the original attribute. This is what I was suggesting. Oh my gosh! Provide a shim attribute that targets the parameter and property. 0 script complexity, 0 conversion errors. L2 handles the real promotion to properties, 0 errors. I gotta see this. Query string attribute. Compatibility shim for web forms. So attribute usage, it's an attribute, query string attribute. What if I didn't have to convert it? Wow, and the not Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest is the series with Rob Mack. Galaxy Quest reference there from Space Shot. Too many quests. Oh boy, a bunch of new messages coming in. Some folks found some traces. Traces of stuff. Nice. Yeah, okay. Error count correction. Run 24's 3 errors was an incremental build artifact. Clean build with models logic properly. It shows 382. Yeah. So can we do something with that? Maybe. Did it push these? Commit changes, git add, git commit. Let's push this. Right? Oh boy, look at that. 76 changes. Oh, a lot of deleted and moved around things. Yeah. Ooh. What the heck? Can you commit these changes and create a pull request so that we can start to review and prepare to merge this? It looks like my daughter's bedroom in here with this nonsense thrown all over the place. Clean it up! Oh. I broke Copilot. That's what happened right there. I broke Copilot. Like, that's a thing. Resume? That one. How we doing? It looks like you had a crash there. Don't let that run. Oh my my gosh, Joystick Nick is here. How you doing, my friend? And I appreciate the Gone Bananas badge. Yeah, user acceptance testing work. Fritz is crashing the thing here. Somebody must have told Nick that I was mentioning him and talking about I need to get some tofu now after watching that Cooking with Heat episode last night. Like, that's a thing. Let me recap where we are and continue working on this issue. That's right. Go do it. But gosh, Nick, you're coming in right at the end here, and you probably saw Pusto's been in the PH16 Tech Talk channel talking about some of the things that have been going on and discovered in the map here on the channel. So that's been going on. A lot of folks have been talking about that over in my Discord. Did it put a pin in Mars for you? No, it didn't put a pin in Mars. I know you're trying to. Right? Oh, no, it did. Where did it put that pin? Where the heck is that? No. Right there. It's in France. Discord is hopping. There's a lot of folks talking about. Oh, wait a sec. Did Ellie get it to land right? Did that work? Maybe. Don't see anything. Stand by. No. No. Wait. New viewer from Oh Well. Oh Well. What the? Are you kidding? It was working with coordinates. You can actually run. There's a remove command there. I just yanked that. There you go. See, I just yanked it. Yeah. May thy blade chips in salsa. Yeah, that's. It wants you to move to Vancouver. Vancouver is a nice part of the country. Part of the world. Part of the, what's it called? Part of the continent. Humid? Dude, really? You went and looked up humid. Wait, that's a thing? I can't make this up. I can't. Really? Oh no, the sound effects. Ooh. Keep you there? Alright, we'll keep you in humid. What the heck happened? M. Johnson, hello? Its litany is trying to get 25 north, 71 west. No. That's oh wow. That's weird. Vancouver is super pricey right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm wondering if I've got too many things going on in the background with Aspire things and it's getting a little crunchy. Because I already had it crash. Sharpsight doing its thing back here. You went to school in Vancouver? Okay. Now, what were you saying, Charlie?
I ignored my destiny once.
You did.
Cannot do that again.
Don't do that.
Even for you at Sharp Fritz, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay. We'll work with that. But I do need to wrap it up. You didn't commit anything over here, you punk. I've still got... There's still a lot of changes out here in the folder. Period. What do we do with all this? I tell you. Well, I do need to move on. I do need to call it a day. I'm going to let this run. We got through it, and we've brought new life back to the SharpSite application. Turns out somebody's copying my logo and some other things, but we started grinding on that again so that that content management system is becoming a thing again. We're working on some pull request here to improve scaffolding and take our components from being just a collection of components to a complete migration toolkit. And you've seen how some of that has improved here, how the reports are showing. We're making massive improvements on this, significant improvements that are growing and taking this in an interesting way that that is making this much, much more valuable. But for now, I do need to call it a day. I need to go get myself some lunch. I need to do some work. So there's some folks over there that need me to do some things. Pusto found something else. Look at this. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. You're off to work soon. Have a great day, Pusto. If you haven't seen it, go check out the map. There's some things going on there that folks have been talking about. The Discord, go ahead and click through to the Discord there. And there's folks talking about things in the Signal channel. Take a look. You might be interested. You might have some fun with it. And hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network. Who can I get you connected to that's doing something fun, something interesting out there to raid? You know what? We haven't raided Lana Lux in a little bit. Let's go raid Lana. Huge thanks for you out there tuning in. Really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow, and we're gonna read all day. We're gonna read the Time Machine, the Jules Verne classic. It's also public domain, so I can't get a copyright strike on that. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Take a look. There's a lot going on the Discord for folks to check out. A lot of folks talking about things they've found. Pusto has been sharing some screenshots over on the PH16 Discord. Really appreciate that. Thank you, my friend. But until tomorrow, wherever you are out there, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.